this. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I have showed in my previous videos some art supplies that I purchased through Amazon, and so I wanted to come on and give you an update, or just to play around with these some of the art supplies that I bought, and just to show you how they work and how they look on paper. And so I wanted to share that with you just in case you're interested in purchasing any of these supplies. So I have this little guy here, this cute little image that I stamped on a few of these papers, and I'm going to test each one of those supplies that I purchased. So I'm talking about markers, mostly the markers that I purchased. So I have some alcohol markers, I have some acrylic markers, and I have some water-based markers. So I wanted to show you how they're going to look on, when you put them down on paper. So I did label these already. I got ahead of myself a little bit, and so we're going to just kind of like swatch, but I'm gonna like color the little bunny and to see how it looks on the bunny for each of these. So I may speed up the the painting part so that this video is not too super long. So I'm going to start with let's see, what should I start with? Oh, I did want to show you that I bought another acrylic set, which is this one here, the Ohuhu acrylic paint markers. I'm going to be showing you these as well. These were the last ones that came that I didn't get to show, but I'll be showing you these as well. So this is one of the ones that I'm going to play with, so you can see. So that's the latest one. So I think I'm gonna do, maybe I'll start with the acrylics. So let's get I have the little bunny for 3. And so the acrylics are Arrtx. We have the one that I just showed, Ohuhu, and then we have the JusArt, which I already put it in my caddy and it's already in there, but I did show those in a previous video, where I can link that video down below. That shows where I showed that one, but I will show you the marker again. So so let me just show you these, being that you did not see these yet. So these are from Ohuhu, and I wanted to try, I do have the alcohol markers from Ohuhu, but I wanted to try the acrylic because I did want to see how they are. So these bring 36 colors, non-toxic, waterproof ink, excellent coverage, no shaking. You don't have to shake the pen, which I like. And they come in this box. I already did swatch some. These are very impressive. They're only $17.99, which I really like the price. That's actually what kind of draw me to them. I was a little skeptical because sometimes when things are cheap, sometimes you're like, cheaper in price, I mean. When they're lower in price, you kind of wonder, are they lower in price because they're not that good? But sometimes you get lucky. So here are the swatches, which really nice colors. Look how really, they're very pigmented. They cover. That's that, and here how it looks in the black. So pretty nice. So of course you have one floor and then you have the second floor. So this is how they come. I'll be putting these in my caddy. I bought an extra caddy, so I have 2 now. I put them on top of each other, so these are gonna go in there too. So that is what they look like. So for $17.99, these are really good. Like if you're looking for something that you don't want to spend a lot of money on, I think these are really good for $17.99. And they are the Ohuhu acrylic paint marker. But I'm going to link all of these supplies down below, okay? So we're going to do this one first here, being that I already took it out. Let me see what color we should use. So I think we're going to use something like a brown. Right? That one is number 38, number 65. Oh, also I wanted to let you know that these they don't have the color on the barrel. Also, the pen is really nice. I like the feel of the marker. It's kind of like a marker, but also like a pen. And that is the point that you get, which is really nice. That is the brush tip, and this is the fine tip, which also very nice. So I really like this marker, and I like that it's round. Like what I was saying was, it doesn't have the actual color on the barrel or on the pen, but it does have the number. They all have numbers, and then here on the swash, it does have the color and the number. So 58 is leaf green. So if you save these, then this will be your guide for the colors, which I think that's really great. If they don't have the colors, they have the numbers. They don't have the colors on the but at least it has the chart, so you can it'll guide you. Okay, so let's see. Which one was the one that I wanted? I think I was looking at 65. This one here. Kind of do like browns. Okay, so I'm going to use the brush tip. I just want to give you an idea of how these go down, especially for those of you that do stamping and you want to color your little images. I think that these would be good. The only thing that I noticed is acrylic markers are very pigmented, some more than others, and if you're going over a stamped image, it may cover some of the black. So like this one is doing right now, I'm going to bring it up so you can take a look at it closer. And I'm going to speed up this videos here because you don't want to see me coloring during the whole video, of course. So I'm going to speed up some of these parts where I'm coloring the bunny end. Okay, so here is the bunny, and as you can see, it did cover some of the black. So my solution for that is just going over with a black marker, or if you have the stamping platform, just place the stamp on top of the bunny again and re-stamp it, and it should be fine. The only thing I do notice with this one is it does leave a little bit of streaks. I'm gonna give it another coat. Can you see that right there? That may not bother too many of you, but I know some of you may be bothered by that, but it's already dry too. That's what I like about acrylic markers. But if this is something that you don't like so much, you probably would have to go with a water-based marker where you can reactivate it, but it does dry really quick. So I'm gonna give it a second coat and see if that changes the streaking part of it. Okay, so I did the second coat. These markers are really pigmented, so these are very juicy. The paint just flows really nicely on the paper. Also, I wanted to mention that I am working on mixed media art paper. I think it's better for, I don't have alcohol, or let's say the paper that's made mainly for alcohol inks. So I thought that the mixed media would be better to try all of these on. Yeah, so that's the paper that I'm working on. But there are papers that you can buy that are specifically for alcohol markers or inks. So maybe it'll be a better result on that. But as far as the acrylic, you can definitely use it in mixed media paper, and also the watercolor, and also the alcohol too. But they do have papers that are made specifically for alcohol. So yeah, so let me just bring it up front. It does look a lot better. It covers a lot. The streaks, you can see them less, like kind of blend in more. So these are really nice. So if you're looking for something just to color in your stamps, you can definitely purchase something like this that's affordable but really good quality acrylic markers. I think for $17.99 they're great. Now, like I said, I was a little bit skeptical because I was like, why are they so cheap? But I think these are a great set of markers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and do the stamping on top so you can see the end result, but we're going to do that later. That's the Ohuhu acrylic marker, which is this one here. So I'm just going to put this one aside for now. The next one we're going to try is the Arrtx Sim Tap. I also show these in another video. I'll link that one down below. And so these are 24 colors, and they're by Arrtx, and they're also acrylic. These are thicker. And the good thing about these is that it has the auto. You don't have to press on the tip to get the paint to flow. It has a part here where you can just press down and the paint comes down. So in other words, you don't have to, I feel like sometimes when you're doing that, those other pens that you have to press down on the nib, it kind of like, there's a potential for you to mess up your nib because you're constantly going like this to get the paint to come out. So I really like that they did this part here. And as you can see, this one is not used, so I'm going to just press to bring down that ink or that paint, and it's coming down. Takes a little bit for it to come down completely, but yeah, I like that this pen has this marker. So I'm gonna see, I think I'm gonna use something similar to that one. So I don't know if this one or even this one would be a good color for the bunny. I want to use colors that are kind of similar. One thing I will say that not all of the colors are similar, of course, especially if you're using different sets. So I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna try to use colors that are similar, either lighter or darker, but kind of similar. Okay, so this one, see that? So I'm just gonna take a little piece of paper. I just want to see what color this is. I didn't get to swatch these. That's a nice color. That's really nice. And these, yeah, I think that I mentioned that these do not have the color on the pen either. They do have the number, like a letter and a number. They don't have the color. Here they have the colors, but they still don't have the name of the color. They only have the numbers. So that's one thing I really don't like. I wish that most of them would put their the number of the marker, but also the color. So I don't even know what color this is. This could be like a sienna. brown probably, right? Maybe I'm wrong. And then, so I think I want to try this one here. Okay, so this one's already, yeah, I'm going to try this one. So this is what, it comes in this nice box. And it comes with a little rubber here. So you can take them on the go. Really nice. These, the good thing about these, the price was $15.99 and it came with 8 gel pens. That's the reason why I bought them. Because I like to also see, I kind of got skeptical with these two because they were $15.99, and again I always think, why are they so cheap? But these are pretty good, and especially had those 8 pens. So okay, so let's start with this one. So this is the Arrtx Sim Tap acrylic marker, and this is here. Okay, so we're gonna color this bunny in. And just starting with this, the paint comes out really nice and it's super juicy. Oh my gosh, so much paint. So I just want to see how it does, like with the streaking. And for the first one I had to go over it twice just to have some of that streaking disappear a little bit or blend in. And I just want to see if I can just paint this without having to go over it again. I mean, I don't really mind doing that, but I want to see what the difference is between these two. So okay, so I just want to show you something with this one here. So look at that. You see that? So when I started, the ink was really flowing nicely, and so it did the part of the head really nice. But then as I was going down to the body, the ink was getting a little dry. I do have my fan on, so maybe that's affecting it. But and once I pressed down to get some of that flow to come down, look at the bottom, how nice it looks. So as long as the ink, I keep saying ink, as long as the paint keeps flowing nicely, you get a really nice covered image. You get really nice coverage if you do that. So now I'm going to go over this part here. And this marker, I do have to say that the paint flows down. It is so juicy, very, very juicy. I'm going to go back over the face. And this one is covering like most of the stem. I am leaving some parts where I'm not even touching it with that marker so that you can see a little bit, but this one is definitely covering a lot. This one has good, very good coverage if that is what you're looking for. So I want to see how it, when you go over it, if it blends in where you don't see too much of the streaking. So that's pretty good. Yeah, wow, that's really good coverage right there. And like I said, as I'm looking at it, I can see it drying. So this is the coverage that it gives you. That's really good. That is really good. So as you can see, most of the bunny disappeared, but I'm going to go over it with the stamping platform. So that's the Arrtx acrylic marker, and it's the brand Sim Tap. So that's that one there. That's pretty good. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to put this one aside, and the next one we're going to try is the JusArt. I already put the JusArt in my caddy, so I'm trying to get a color that's similar. So this is the JusArt, and I don't know if this is, I didn't swatch these either, so let me just get another. Sometimes the color looks different here than when you actually see. So this is like a very light beige, so I'll probably use this one. So look at this one here. I love this marker. I love the whole look of it. You can see the paint in the barrel. This one is also one of the ones that you don't have to press the point. The paint is flowing through the marker already. And this one is JusArt. This one was, I do have the, this one was $19.97, and it brought 30 markers. Really nice markers. I'm going to bring some down so you can take a look at them. This is what they look like here. For $19.99 is pretty good. So I found these through Amazon. I'll link those down below as well, so you can take a look at this. So we're going to try these and see how these do. Okay. Oh wow, this is really juicy too. So far, all the markers that I've used, as far as putting down the paint, no problem there. Okay, so this one does a really nice coverage for just one. So the face, I did go over it twice, but look at the body. It does have a little bit of streaking, but I feel that's because it's acrylic paint. I'm going to go over the body again, like I did with the face, but it's kind of similar to the Arrtx marker. Really nice coverage. So I'm just going to do this part here. Okay, so here you go. Pretty much covered a lot of it, like the Arrtx marker. So these are pretty nice quality too. And again, they dry really fast. So let me just bring out the other ones. So this is the Arrtx and this is the JusArt. Very similar. Very similar. The colors are slightly different too. So, and then this is the Ohuhu acrylic marker. This one is more streakier than both of these, but still pretty decent. So these are the three. I will be going over it with the stamp so that you can see what it will look like with the stamping over it again. So these are the acrylic markers. Okay, so now we're going to try the, I think we should do the alcohol. Okay, so I have the Ohuhu art markers. I have the, so I do have a set that I mentioned when I was showing the Ohuhu markers of alcohol markers that I purchased probably more than 5 years ago, and those are the Arteza Everblend art markers. I hardly ever use them. I probably used them like once or twice, and I kept them in their container and I never used them again. Sometimes I even forgot I had them. So I brought them out to do a comparison, and then I also have a set that I bought from Five Below, which were pretty decent for Five Below markers. Also alcohol. It says on the box that they're oil markers, but they're definitely not oil markers. They are alcohol markers. So we're gonna test those three. So we're gonna start with the Ohuhu markers. So let's see. Should I take a similar color? Yeah, I'm gonna take a similar color. So this color here is, and the only reason I know is because I do have the chart. Because these do not have the color. Oh, they do have the color. Sorry. So this one is potato brown. Yeah, potato brown, and it's BR2. So I'm gonna play around with this. Look at that. Love that point. So I'm just gonna go, and I'm just gonna do little parts by little parts. This is actually a really dark brown. This goes down really nice too. I'm gonna do little sections by little sections to see if you can tell when I'm doing the rest of it, if it blends in nicely. Okay, so I like the way this one looks. So now the blending, I kind of did like little areas. So I took it part by part because I wanted to see how it blended from each little part that I was doing and see if it kind of met. And I think it blends pretty decent. Look at the face. I did the face part by part and it blends really nicely. You do see little bits there, but I'm pretty sure if I go over it again, it's going to blend completely. So this is a pretty decent marker. Again, this paper is not made for ink. I mean, you can use it because look, it goes through, but I'm pretty sure if you get the, because they do have, Ohuhu also has like paper for alcohol markers and things like that, it'll probably give it a better result, but this is actually a pretty decent result, so I think it blends in nicely. So that's the Ohuhu art marker. And then we're going to try, the next one we're going to try is the Arteza. So this is what they used to come in. I don't know that they're doing them like this anymore, because this is probably like 5 years ago that I bought this. And so they used to come in this container. I did go on Amazon to see if I could find these, and I couldn't find these specifically. They do still have the Arteza markers. I don't know if they call them Everblend, but they don't have this one. So this one brings 60, and I don't remember the price. I want to say that they probably cost me like 45 at the time, maybe a little less, maybe like 36 at the time. Now they have the 72 pack, and I think it's $80. So yeah, they're a little different. I think they look exactly the same. These are more like a triangle, but the names probably change, and I think the amount that they carry and the price changed too. So so these, like I said, are the Arteza Everblend art marker. So we're going to, let's see if I can find that one. This one here. I'm going to choose a similar color. So let's see what this one looks like. The only thing with this one is this one, which I think that's probably why I didn't use them as much. It has the chisel part, which I don't really like in markers, to be honest with you. And it has the fine tip. So then I went to see if they have like the brush tip. I would think that by now they would have the brush tip, because I think like the brush tip is a very popular style of marker that people like. I know I like the brush tip more than anything. I don't mind the fine tip point, because sometimes you need that to go into the fine little areas, and that's fine, that doesn't bother me. But as long as I have the brush tip also, I'm good. But Arteza only has a chisel, which I don't think that works for everything. So I think they should definitely consider bringing a brush tip. So I'm gonna have to color the bunny with the brush, with the fine point, because and it's gonna take me longer. Unless I go over it, I can do that too, just to cover more. So maybe I'll do that. But so this one here is really dark. I'm just trying to get something a little bit lighter. This one is, the good thing about Arteza, it does have the number and it does have the name on the marker, which is great. This one is hazelnut brown. Let me see this one here. This one is sienna brown. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, I'll do this one. I'm gonna try this one, the sienna brown. It's a little lighter, but this is too dark. Yeah, so that's the Arteza markers, the Everblend art marker. So let's try it. Let's try that. So I'm gonna start with the fine tip to see if it makes a difference. If it's if you can tell if I'm using the fine tip or if it makes a difference, you know, because sometimes when you use the fine tip, you can see the streaks of the fine tip, and then if you use the chisel, you can see that too. So I'm gonna start with the ears. So this is a really dark color, but the blending is really nice too. I almost want to say that it's actually a tad bit blends in nicer than the Ohuhu marker. I don't know if it's because I used the chisel point. I did use just the front part of I didn't go flat completely. I used just the front part, and it does give it like a better, kind of like a thick line, but not as thick. But yeah, these markers are pretty decent. Look at the blending, is really nice, and they are called Everblend, so they're probably called that name because of the blending technique that it has. But pretty decent markers. I'll probably take these out and put them in my caddy now, because I did have them in a drawer for a very long time, and so these are pretty decent. So these are the Arteza Everblend. The only thing again that I'm not crazy about is the chisel point. That's the fine point, sorry, the chisel point. I wish they had these in brush tip. I would probably consider getting a set of these. It's good to have more than one set too. So yeah, these are the Arteza Everblend art marker. Okay, so now we're going to try a cheaper brand. Where's that one? Which is this one here from Five Below. I bought these quite a while ago, and I tested them out, and I thought they were pretty decent for $5. So just want to do a comparison between the ones that are a little bit more expensive and the ones that are not. So these bring 24. I don't know that the colors are exactly, I doubt it, because you know, when they're cheaper they don't really care about that stuff. So I'm trying to get a color that's kind of similar. Let me see. And I don't see anything that's similar. Let me see this one. This one looks like an orange though. Let me see. So this one has a fine tip and a brush tip, and it says it's oil marker. It's not an oil marker, definitely. That's what the tip looks like. It's a little bit more broad, and that is the brush tip. And this is more like an orange. So let me see if I can find something closer. And there's no browns. This one here looks, I don't think that's it. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Okay, so we're gonna go with this one, I guess. I don't see anything similar to a brown there. So we'll do this one, I guess. It's gonna be kind of orange. All right. So let's see. Hello. So I bought a few of these because I thought that for them being $5, they were pretty decent. And my husband saw these and he was like, get me one. So I got him one. And the blending is really nice. So that's why I was like, they're definitely not oil. These are exactly like alcohol markers. They work like alcohol markers. I don't know why they put oil on the cover of the box, but definitely not oil markers. I never even heard of oil markers before. So the paint is flowing really nice. The ink is flowing really nice, and the blending is actually really decent. And I'm taking it part by part because that's how you know if it blends nicely. I just wish that it had more colors. That they definitely don't have any browns. No beige or things like that. No skin tones. But that's pretty decent for a $5 set marker. Look at this. That's pretty decent. That's pretty good. sometimes I go to Five Below and I do focus on the art supplies because you just never know. So ever since I purchased these and I thought that these were pretty good, I've been looking for different alcohol markers from Five Below and see. But look at this blending. It looks pretty decent. So if you go to Five Below and you find these, this is what the box looks like. It says dual tip oil markers. They're not oil markers, they're alcohol markers. But if you find these, pick up a box just so you could play around with them, because for $5 they're pretty good, and you could practice with these, and then if you feel like you want something that costs a little bit more money, then you spend the money on it. But these are pretty decent. I mean, look at that, the blending is really nice. Just one time. So that's why I bought them. I mean, I bought them to try them out, and then I bought one, and then I went back and bought 2 more, and I gave one to my husband. So that's the Five Below alcohol marker. Pretty decent. So these are the different ones. So look at this. Wow. So the Arteza blended really nicely. So you let it dry and it blended really nicely. Look at that. No kind of streaks anywhere. This one is the Ohuhu, pretty decent too, but you can definitely see. But I'm sure if I go over it one more time, it'll blend in nicer. But some people don't want to do that. They just want to do one coat, right? So, but I think really nice markers too, really decent. And these kind of like shocked me. For $5, these are really good. So those are the alcohol markers. Now we're going to do the water-based markers here. So for the water-based markers, I did have to cover this with clear gesso because mixed media paper, I don't think it's going to grab the water very well. So I wanted it to flow like it's supposed to. So I did put clear gesso on it. And I have 2 markers to compare. So I have the Ohuhu, which I showed in one of my previous channels. I'm sorry, one of my previous videos, and I'll link that one down in the description box below. I have, when I showed this one, I also showed, I think, the acrylic markers as well. So you'll see all of those. The Ohuhu Maui series brush pens, and they bring 60. These are also pretty good for the price, $17.99. So we're going to try these first. It brings all of these colors. And again, I just want to mention that it does bring the refillable, replaceable tips, which is really great. And the Ohuhu alcohol markers also bring the refillable tips and the ink. So that's something to think about when you're going to purchase alcohol markers too. So we're going to do this one now. Let's see what color I should use. I'm going to use, of course, another color that's similar. Use a lighter one, right? Let me just see. Not that one. Let's see this one here. That's too light. That one's nice. And let's see this one. And that one's nice too. And these do not have the colors. They just have numbers. But look at that point, how nice. That's what that looks like. That is the brush tip. And then you have that one for journaling. These don't bother me at all, because sometimes if you want to doodle, you can use the fine point to doodle and, you know, journal and things like that. But I definitely love this point here. So I don't know what color to use. These colors are pretty similar. It's not that much of a difference. They're kind of similar. And when you put them down, they're kind of similar. So either one of these will do. I think I'm going to do this one here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to use my, make sure there's water coming down. I'm going to use my make sure it has water. Alright. Okay, so this one, I don't know if that has to do with the gesso that's under it. I have a feeling that it does, because watercolor usually doesn't do that. So it's a little streaky in the bottom, you see that? But I think that's the gesso. But other than that, the ink goes really on nicely. I just want to go over a few parts here. And again, it depends how much water you're going to put on it, you know? Yeah. I think that's cute. And I think it's definitely the gesso on the bottom. That's, if you look at it closely, you see that right there? The lines are going this way. Watercolor is not going to do that. That is the gesso on the bottom. So I just want to do something real quick. I'm going to just take one that doesn't have gesso. And I just want to see something. It's a really nice rich color and the ink flows really nicely. And I'm just going to use a watercolor brush. See, but then again, this paper is not really made for watercolor, so it may not do what I want it to. But even so, look how nice. And I'm putting a little too much water on this. This paper, you can only put so much water on it before it starts getting fuzzies on it. Let me see if I have a piece of watercolor paper here. Okay, so let me try this one. This is some of the, I was just testing the alcohol markers, but this is watercolor paper. Let me see how the difference between that one and this one. Let me see this side. That's very disappointing right now. Let me see. It's supposed to be water soluble, right? Unless I'm not supposed to use it this way, and I'm supposed to use it. Yeah, so what's happening here is that once I'm putting it directly from the marker on the watercolor, it's just sucking in the ink. So it's not working, even though it does still mix it. But look at the difference. So I guess I'm supposed to do something like this. And then use it on watercolor. See? So I can't use it directly. There you go. Yeah. That's it. But I'm actually surprised that it actually looks a lot better on mixed media paper. And I did it directly on the mixed media paper, so that's something's up with that. Like, so if you notice here, like my husband was telling me, if you're using it on watercolor paper, it's sucking in the ink real, like a lot. So you see how vibrant it looks? That's because the watercolor is sucking in the alcohol ink. And so that's what he was saying. You need to get paper that's made for alcohol. But I thought that because this is watercolor, that it would take this in better. Maybe if I do it lightly. Let me see. And it's still, you see? It's a little better, but still, you can still see those marks in the bottom. But look at it on mixed media paper, which I thought it looks a lot better. So, yeah. But this is definitely the gesso, because it doesn't look right. See that? It would have came out a lot better. It would have came out something like this. So I guess putting the gesso was not a good idea, but we're gonna continue. Okay, so this is the Maui. So don't judge them, because you know what? It's not really doing what it's supposed to, because it looks like, I just want to see something. I'm gonna try with the brush. Those streaks right there are really not the marker. It's let me see if it looks better with the see, so it does look better with the paintbrush. And it is definitely the gesso, because the bunny has like a little bit of a mark on the bottom of the mouth, and that came from the gesso. Okay, just take all that a little bit. Yeah, see that mark right there? This mark right here, that's from the gesso. So, but it looks better with the paintbrush. I added a little bit more paint to it. Definitely looks better. So these paints, these brushes, I'm sorry, these markers are pretty good for if you want to do watercolor. These are good. That's the Ohuhu Maui Journal Brush Pens. And then lastly, we're going to try the, I'm going to compare them with Tombow. The Tombows I've had for quite a while too. I think I bought those after I bought the Arteza, which was quite a bit ago. I want to say probably about 4 years ago. Let's see. Let's put these here. And so we're gonna compare those to the other ones. But because it's the gesso that's bothering me under it. So let's see if I have a similar color. This one here. And the Tombows do not have the name either. They just have the at least these. Maybe they're doing them now with names. Before they didn't have names. 977. Look at that point right there. It's awesome. And the Tombows has 2 different points. So this one's like the fine point. And this is what it looks like. But definitely that point is awesome. Alright, so we're going to try this one here. Let's see the difference between the both of them. Let's see. The Tombow markers are definitely more smoother, I feel. But then again, I don't want to judge the Ohuhu ones because that gesso, for some reason, with these markers, is the gesso kind of comes up. With the Tombow, it doesn't. So look at the difference with the Tombow. Even though it does have the gesso at the bottom, you don't see the marks of the gesso. It kind of like blended in nicely. The Tombows are definitely a better quality watercolor marker, though, that's for sure. When I purchased these, I purchased them by colors, and I think each set was like $16 to $17. So these were pretty pricey, and I think I purchased 3 sets. Yeah, I purchased 3 sets. So they were like $18 each for 3 sets. And I think it brought, I want to say like 8 colors. Yeah, I think it was like 8 colors for each. So they are a little bit pricier, but they do have a really good reputation and good reviews. And the reason why I purchased them is because I follow a lot of ladies that used to use them or still use them, and these were really great. I used to, the ones that I wanted was the, and these followed, I feel like these followed the Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz had a really nice set of alcohol markers, not alcohol markers, watercolor markers. I forget what they used to call them. And those were really popular. They were super expensive though. And I think they discontinued them. So after that, the Tombows became very popular. I always wanted the Tim Holtz, but I never got a chance to buy them. So these were the second one. So when I had the opportunity and the money, I just bought the Tombows. But yeah, they are a really good quality marker, water-based marker, but they are pricier. So yeah, these are the 2, which honestly I'm not mad at this one, because I know for a fact that it's the gesso on the bottom that's making it look like that. So pretty good, decent markers. Definitely the Tombow is probably, I wouldn't say a better choice, but they are pricier. I feel like they kind of like stand by each other, but I feel like I have to do another one of these without the gesso just to see how it looks. So I'm gonna stamp another little bunny, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna try the Ohuhu brush marker again, the soluble one. I'm going to try it again. This one doesn't have the gesso. Okay, so there's a big difference now. You see that? Big difference. Kind of looks similar to that one, right? And that's the way it's supposed to look with water-based markers. And look at that one. See? So the gesso kind of changed it a little bit. And this is what it should look like. So in comparison to the Tombow, they kind of look similar. So you really won't lose, I feel, if you purchase the Ohuhu. I feel like they're an alternative to the Tombow at a cheaper price. They kind of look similar too. If you look at them, the Tombow is always like a larger, like a taller marker. But you definitely can purchase the Ohuhu, which is $17.99. It brings 60 colors, and they're pretty decent. Look at that. I don't see much of a difference. You tell me if you see much of a difference. I don't see much of a difference. So yeah, that's why I get like tempted to buy the cheaper ones, because you just never know. Yeah, so these are the Tombow and this is the Ohuhu. So I'm going to use this one as an example better than this one, because this one has the gesso on it. So we'll put that aside. So let me just put this one back here, and let me just put the Tombow back. Okay, so I think that is it for all the markers that I wanted to come and play around with and show you guys how they look on paper, and how, just so that if you're interested in purchasing, you can get an idea. So what I wanted to do is, I want to do those acrylic ones, and these are the alcohol, these are the water, and I want to finish, because I know that most of the acrylics are going to cover most of your work, because they're pigmented, and a lot of them are opaque, which means that if you put them over a black line, it's going to cover it. But there's a solution for that. And I'm going to see if I could do this without messing it up. You get your stamping platform. You can put your little image there and restamp it. Let me see if I could align this just the way it's supposed to go, so that I do not ruin it. Sorry if you see my head. Let's see. I don't want it to come out as a double line. Okay, I think that's it. I think. Okay, so we're going to stamp it. Let's hope it works, guys. Fingers crossed. don't know if that's gonna work. I think the paper moved. Yeah, I think the paper moved. Let's see. All right, let's try this again. I'm definitely not sure that that's gonna work. Let me add a little bit of. We shall see. That's okay. It's not perfect, but so there you go, guys. Look how cute that is, right? So you can definitely stamp, color the image in, and just stamp it over if you have the platform. I mean, you can try to do it hand, freehand, but sometimes that's really difficult to do, to align the stamp, but you can definitely do that. So we're going to try the other ones. Sorry, I had to dry that in between, still a little bit, but yeah, so you can definitely do that. If you decide to buy the acrylic markers, I think that's a really nice result there. You get a really nice covered image. And then this is the one I messed up on. It came out double. And this is the JusArt. Yeah, so yeah, my friends, that is what I wanted to come on and share with you guys. I also wanted to do that for myself, so I decided just to record and share with you guys. So these are the alcohol, these are the watercolor, and these are the acrylic. All really nice, so you can't go wrong with either one of these choices. You just have to keep in mind the price, the quality. If you prefer the alcohol, like each alcohol, I feel like each alcohol marker, depending on the price, the brand, it works differently. Some of them will have like full, really nice blending like this one. I feel like the Ohuhu is pretty decent as well. I'm pretty sure, you see, it does have a little bit, but if I would have gone over it one more time, I think it would have blended in very nicely. So these two are pretty good. The Ohuhu are pretty good for the price. These alcohol markers were $39.99 and they bring 48. But if you don't want to do something like that, like $48 is too much for you, or because you're a beginner, you don't want to spend that much money, you can definitely try something like the Five Below alcohol markers. I don't know if they still have these, because just recently I went to Five Below and I found these really nice containers, but I always go to the craft section and I didn't see these. They may come out with different alcohol markers, so, but I didn't see those. So I bought those quite a long time. I think I bought those like last year sometime. So, but definitely, you can definitely find decent markers for cheaper if you really look for them. And I tend to do that. I tend to buy like cheaper markers and just try them out and just bring it to you guys so you guys could see. I mean, to help you guys out too. So that's the alcohol, and then you have the watercolor, the water soluble ones. I also do have these, which I didn't even test for you guys, but these right here are the Arteza twin marker. So they look something like this, and they are water soluble, and it does have a dual point right there. So I do have other water soluble markers. So this one, look, these are pretty decent too. These are the twin marker from Arteza. I bought these quite a while ago too and barely used them. And these, I don't remember the price of these, but these are pretty decent too. There's a lot of water soluble markers out there. Some of them are new brands that I never heard about. And then I also have the Arteza brush pen. What do they call these? Oh, the Arteza real brush pens. I bought these way in the beginning when they came out. Now they have the color on the barrel. These didn't. These are the ones that came out like first, and so I also purchased these. I'm not crazy about these. I feel like the point, like the brush, I just don't like it too much. Yeah, and they're not juicy. I don't know if it's because they're old. They're okay. Not crazy about them though. I probably will get rid of these and give these out. So these are the Arteza real brush pens. I'm not really crazy about Arteza the brand, to be honest with you. I did buy the Everblend because at the time that I was looking for, those were the ones that I kind of compared and thought, you know, because of the price too, that's a big consideration for me. But they're pretty decent. I just don't like the point as much. But I'm not really crazy about Arteza. I had Arteza paint too, and I wasn't crazy about it. It's just something about it. What else? Oh, I do have these here. These are my master water soluble also, and look at that point. I kind of got these because of the fine point. These are also water soluble, and these are also brush, but the actual brush tip. But I know I remember I purchased these because I love that tip right there, and these are really juicy. And these are not a really known brand. They're called Master, just Master. But these turned out to be really nice markers. Let me just see. Look how nice that is. So I really was happy that I found these. I don't know if you're gonna find these on Amazon now, but look at that. Look at that color, how pretty. But look at the Arteza though. The Arteza are pretty decent. It's just something about them. And then these are the Arteza, the twin. I like the twin. What are they called again? The twin. Twee. Sorry, it's not twin. It's twee marker. Let me just bring it up so you can see it. Twee marker. I don't know if they still have these, and if they brought down the price. I don't even remember what I spent on these, but these bring a lot. These bring a lot. I think these brought like I want to say like 48. But these I definitely love, and these I just bought them and got lucky. So this is what they look like here. They come in tons of colors. And I'm still organizing my markers. So all types of colors. These bring a lot too. So yeah, I really like these. Again, that point is so awesome. Let me just give them another example of another color here. That color is beautiful. And this is the actual brush tip. And I like that the reds match the reds. You know, sometimes when you buy markers, the colors do not match at all. But look at that. Yeah, so I definitely like those. See that? Yeah. So I do spend money on quite a few markers and things like that. Some of them I don't keep. I just like trying out new things. And most of it is to bring it to you guys to test them out and things like that. Sometimes I get surprised and find something that, ooh, really nice. And but sometimes I don't. And those things that I'm not crazy about, I'm not saying that they're bad products, but those things that I'm not crazy about, I just put them aside and I just gift them either for Christmas, or I'll just do Happy Mail and things like that, you know. So to me, I feel like it's not really wasting money if I'm going to give it to somebody who could use it. So yeah, guys, that is what I wanted to bring you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that this helped you decide if you were interested in buying a set of markers. I mean, there are tons of markers out there, like tons. And some of them are known name brands, especially Amazon carries a lot of markers that are very similar in point. They look almost the same, but they have different names. And some of the names are not known names, so you can definitely try one of those. The prices are definitely cheaper, but sometimes you pay for what you get, you know. So yeah, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions, put it down below. I'm sorry that this video was super long, but usually when it's this type of video, it does take a little bit longer. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that it was helpful, the information that I showed here and demonstrated. And so yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all your time if you stood to watch the whole video. And I will see you in the next one. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.